What's up, guys? I've got a lot of thoughts on my mind today, and I wanted to make a video for you about this. Recently, I saw a Instagram reel, and it really had like a profound effect on me. It rung a bell. It was this video of this lady. It's like some podcast clip or something, and she said this one sentence: "What you're not changing, you're choosing," and that really stuck in my head because of a personal experience, which I'll tell you about. Over the past year and a half, I've been struggling with my health, and I wanted to illustrate how certain experiences lead to profound lessons, but also you can really like see how much of the problem is really just you. So, like a year and a half ago, I had like my dark night of the soul, I think it's called. I had this massive injury, and my health took this massive hit, and I was struggling, really struggling. And last year, I could barely keep it together. I was in a rough spot, and all the circumstances in my life, me having to take care of my home, pay the bills, work, cook, clean, like do all the things, being alone, being isolated, having to do everything, took like a massive toll on my energy, right? And I was just crawling through that season. But over the past 6 months, I realized actually that experience taught me something special. It's like it taught me how tough I was mentally, how hardcore I was, because this far into my journey, a defeat that big, most people would break, most people would quit. I didn't quit. I still got up really hard. Within 1 week of the injury, I was back running. All the guys that I had seen around, all the little jealous guys, they were all like pissed because I'm like, they were like pro athletes and stuff, but their mindset wasn't as strong, But I learned something which I didn't tell them, obviously, was that even though I was being this hardcore and my mindset was this, like, I was all hard, there was something underneath it that was being revealed. It's like I was banging a hammer and just trying to persevere through and just go through something again and again and again, like going to a brick wall instead of just fixing the leak in my ship. And that's the thing. I was not changing this problem. I was not changing my health issues. I was choosing it because when I finished that season, that last year, and over the past 6 months, last 6 months before I came here, I started trying to improve it. I realized this problem, and I came and started improving it. And then I came here to a new environment. I concluded that season. I don't have as many responsibilities I had before. I still have to film videos and like make content and do all these things. But these are my stuff that are like optional, and it's beneficial, and it's like upward trajectory stuff. It's not maintenance work like chores, and like I don't have as much of a burden on me, right? But I didn't change. I didn't start taking action on my health. I didn't start like working towards healing. I didn't make any real changes to like move forward. And I was still complaining. I was still playing victim. I was still blaming. I was still whining. I was still feeling hopeless and defeated, and my mindset basically became in the gutter. My images became shit. My feelings, and like it was all worry, fear, stress, just I became addicted to that set of emotions and that identity of mine and that state that I was in. And so when I came here and I saw that reel, and then I started putting together all these pieces, and my grandma was like, "You always complain about this, and like you're not changing anything." And she said, like, she's like, "You're complaining about this, but what are you doing about it?" And that's something I always used to say to one of my family members. And I noticed that that person also had this exact same trait. Like they would complain, they would complain, they would complain, they would complain about the exact same problems, but they would never do anything to fix it. They would never do anything to change that situation, and years would go by. And so I noticed that issue in myself, and I'm sure many, many, many people struggle with this. Is that many times we use a problem or a health issue or these kind of things as a way to gain sympathy, as a way to gain attention, as a way to gain affection, because we choose unhealthy patterns to like fill these needs that are normal. Everybody wants to feel loved, everybody wants to feel attention, everybody wants to feel they matter, and all these different things. And these are like the really, I'm talking the deep core wounds, the deep childhood traumas, the deep coping patterns. These are the things that drive your daily actions, your daily decisions. These are the things that really dictate who you are being all the time, and most of us are never aware of it. But such an experience, such a like a profoundly dark, painful experience forced me to see this, because my body and my health is so wrecked, right? And there's nothing anybody can do for me. Like, I can go to a doctor's, I can go to the physio, and I've done, and they're like, dude, your body somehow with the shoulders and everything, with your mindset and everything, whatever you've done, it's okay. You seem good. Your shoulders, everything seems okay. All you have is just a lack of muscle. You're really fucking tall. You just need to work out. You're not exercising, and you're neglecting your body, and you're just, such a long time has gone that it's getting weaker and weaker by the day, and you're not changing anything. And that's it, pretty much, right? But it's like God forced me into this position and this lesson, because it's like, until I learn this lesson, I cannot escape. I literally cannot get out of this position until I realize, like, hey, there is something very broken about how I think, about how I cope with my emotions, how I cope with my childhood needs and traumas, how I cope with all these different things. And that's how you get forward, right? So I see like a lot of people complaining about certain problems in their life, and they never take action, they never make changes. And I do this also. It's like feeling sorry for yourself, right? And I think we are all guilty of it at some point of our, in our life. And sometimes really dark experiences are what show this to us. And so what I want to talk to you guys is about how to get out of this now. Now, this is the problem. I gave you like a simple personal example, and I'm sure at some point you will experience this, right? But what happens is, when you go into these like dark, like hazy, really just like in your mind stuck places, you become addicted basically to the emotions that you're feeling. You're used to complaining. You're used to feeling like it's hopeless. You're used to feeling like fear and worry, and it becomes this loop. One thing leads to another. Then you're panicking about your job. Then you're worrying about your health. Then you're worrying about your family. Then you're worrying about that guy said and this girl said, and it keeps you stuck. And so what happens is, these emotions, it's in your body, and your body is your subconscious mind, and it's locked in it. And these start like linking with all the old traumas and that thought, and you literally become addicted to thinking about and worrying about and feeling about a certain life that you're not even living. You're suffering in your imagination all the time. But your brain and your body, it doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you're feeling this and you're like, oh, all this, you're literally living that. And you need to be aware of this and break that out, and you need to switch that to the positive. You need to get really clear, and this is what it means to be intentional. You need to be really intentional about what you want, and you need to really define that step by step, and define what that vision would look like. So for me now, I'll use a personal example, is that I want my posture back, I want my health back, because I want my voice to become like deep, like how it was. Because when my posture is caved like this, my breathing is restricted and my voice is not as deep, I can't run, I can't work out, I can't work properly, I can't do all these things. So I want my health back. And if I want my health back, I need to work out, I need to exercise. But if we are using this healing, this imagination, this manifestation method, we need to switch from me just doing the actions and expecting healing to feeling healing and then doing the actions. We need to become the cause and then expect the effect. This is what it's like in the quantum manifestation like teachings, right? And this is what it basically means, is just you need to feel the emotions and you need to live in the new identity of the person. You can't keep living in the old identity and doing the same things and expecting the new results. It's insanity, right? It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the new results. And that's what I'm doing. And I don't want to be doing that anymore. So I'm making this change now. And essentially, last night I just visualized and I did this, and I already feel a massive difference. I'm standing up straight better. My voice is deeper. I'm already filming this video. And when you start taking these actions, you slowly start feeling a massive difference in your life, because you wake up and you just make this commitment like, hey, I'm not going to feel the emotions of this old pain, this old trauma, this old identity. I'm not going to keep returning to these same bad habits. I'm not going to keep complaining and whining and judging and getting angry and lashing out. That's the old person. The person that has perfect health, the one that I want, or the $1 million brand, the one that I want, or that job that I want, or the house that I want, that person would be happy right now. That person would be bursting with joy. That person would be like beaming with energy. That person would be excited, forgiving, kind. He's sharing, he's abundant with money, so he's giving people money, he's donating to charity, he's buying stuff that he wants. He's doing all these things that are not based out of fear. They're all based out of higher vibration emotions, their love, their happiness, their joy, their contentment, all these things. And you need to make a commitment that you're going to live by in the actions and thoughts and feelings of this person and not like the old person. And you need to make that, and you need to just stick with it for a few days. And it's not just doing the actions and inside outside your life, it's inside your mind. You need to first really live it in your mind. And I cannot tell you how important this is, because there are a lot of times in my life, especially through this shoulder experience, I learned another concept, which is the concept of self-image and the comfort zone, or familiarity zone, we should call it. It's that you can do all the right things in the outside life, but if your internal world, like there is this internal world in your mind, how you believe yourself to be, who you believe yourself to be, who you believe what you believe your life to be. And it's like there's an entire movie or like a library inside your head, and until you change the files in there, no matter what you do outside in your life, you'll come back here. So it's really important that when you are deciding to make a change, you first visit this place. Everything in your life comes down to this place. So you visit that, then you make the commitment and you start acting. So that's what I'm doing right now. This is again like, as I'm going through my life, I'm sharing my experiences and I'm sharing the lessons, and then I'm like putting it out there to you. And in a few months you'll see me with the results, right? You'll see me with all like the proper body again and the proper posture again. I'll be making other videos about it, and so you will know that what I'm saying is true, and this is what I'm using now to change. And I would recommend you to study Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, because he had like a severe, like a worse injury than mine, and like spinal stuff, like real Doctor Strange stuff. Probably that's where the movie comes from, but it really is something spectacular. And there's one more point that I wanted to mention, is that when you're not changing stuff in your life and you're choosing to stay like the exact same person, there is some sort of secret benefit that you're getting. Like, you're not a dumb person, you're a smart person, right? And if you're making a choice, you're making a decision, there's some reason. It might be negative, it might be unhealthy, it might be detrimental for you, your life, and everything, but there is still a reason why you're doing it. And so for me, I'm here and I'm like, why am I not working out? I have a bigger house now. Like, my tiny apartment, I was not able to work out, and that's very good logic. I had to cook, I had to clean, I had to do work, I was always stressed. Uh, it was very hard for me to do stuff there. I had all these legitimate reasons, right? Excuses still, but they're still legit, okay? Now I'm here and there's literally no reason why I shouldn't be working out 10 times a day, and I should be already back in like peak shape. So why didn't I do it? And when you dig deep and you dig deep, you just have to sit with that thought and the emotions. And it's like, you just quiet your mind and you sit and like, why haven't I worked out? Why haven't I tried to make a change? And your inner voice will tell you the answer. Your inner voice usually knows, and it's yourself, and you know this, and it will come. And you really have to write it down and like keep digging. It's like there's a rope, you keep pulling it, and you'll find something. And many times we tend to get afraid. We're like, no, and then like, oh, something distracted me, I get away. But these are all like yourself preventing yourself from escaping this trap, from preventing yourself from escaping from this loop. You need to stick with it. You need to like let like holding like a big fish down after you like caught it or something. Like, really hold this motherfucker down and just stick with it, and just find out what that secret benefit is. So for me, with the health thing, is I realized this because I'm scared about getting back into the business world, and I'm scared about making content, and I'm scared about uh, finally living the dream life that I've always wanted, running a big business and doing all these things, and going to this next level of my life basically. And I'm scared. So I know that no matter what happens, I cannot run a fully fledged business and have all these responsibilities and take care of all these employees and take care of all this like stuff while I'm injured and unhealthy. So if I never get healed and I never get cured, or like I'm always unhealthy and injured, then I can always say like, bro, I can do this. I know I'm capable of this, but until this is fixed, I cannot do it. So it's like linked, but I'm using this issue to never confront this fear essentially. And until you really dig deep and you find that link, you'll probably feel like, bro, what's going on? You feel trapped in your life, and many situations in your life are like this. You don't go to school and you don't want to go to school. The reason is because you're afraid if you go to school, you might run into that girl who you really like and you want to ask out, but you're afraid of asking her out. So now you've developed a fear of going to school. And so you say school sucks, your parents are forcing you, you don't want to go to school, and all these things just to prevent yourself from going to that one environment or situation where you would have to confront that fear. Because if that girl rejects you, you're not able to handle it. So essentially what you have is that fear of rejection. So that fear of rejection of that girl makes you to fear school, and then you don't want to go to school. So many situations in our life are like this. It can be health, family, sex, romantic, marriage issues, like divorce, finances, like church. It can literally be anything. We humans are super creative in finding how to trap ourselves and like sabotage ourselves and be like victims of our own creation. So I really hope this video helps you. It's very weird making these videos uh, while going through it, but I know for sure this is the issue, and I've learned this lesson now. And even today morning, I was watching like Dr. Joe Dispenza's videos and like making notes, for this video. So, what you're not changing, you're choosing. So choose a new identity, choose a new life, make a commitment to it. Note down exactly every single thing, like habit, emotion, thought, feeling, recurring thoughts, beliefs, all these things that you feel right now, and put like old identity on this side and write all these things under it, and then write new identity on this side and write all these things under it. And you, every time anything from this happens, you let it go and you go to this one. And this is what you called acting as if. You act as if your new reality is like already here. You live from the dream already being a real thing. And that's what being delusional is. Being delusional is living from that dream, that vision that you have, as if it's already done, and like going with that faith that if you embody those thoughts, feelings, characters, and like personality and the actions and the work ethic, and you embody it, then the universe will meet you halfway there. So that's literally what being delusional is. Being delusion is a philosophy of success. It's a philosophy of healing. It literally is a philosophy of walking with God and being being a co-creator of life. That's really all it is. Uh, and so I hope you act as if. I hope you understand that what you're not changing, you're choosing.